here we are at the View nightclub with Luke Hoskin of Protest the Hero. He is the guitar player. Now, recently your band has won a Juno Award. Can you tell us about that experience and the feeling of actually winning that award for Best Metal Album?
Feels really good. I think we never thought growing up that we'd win an award like that. But the actual winning experience was a little bit strange for us because we were on tour at the time. So we did 6 weeks in the US before we come back to Canada. And we were in Wilmington, North Carolina, on one of the smaller shows of the tour when we found out that we won. So it was kind of bittersweet. We couldn't be in Winnipeg to accept the award. So we celebrated in our own way and popped some champagne and had to inform the crowd there, the US audience, what a Juno was, but it was a really cool feeling. And we're lucky we had some family out. Tim had his wife out and my girlfriend out, and we all kind of had secret bottles of champagne that we popped and drank. And it was after the show we went out. It was a fun night. It's an amazing feeling because it's one of those like childhood dreams that you're like, oh, I'll never win a Juno, especially playing the type of music that we do. So it's really cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, you've played some bigger stages like Warped Tour, arenas, stuff like that. What does it mean to you as a band and personally to play smaller towns like Cornwall, going back to your roots and playing more intimate, smaller shows?
Personally, I have more fun at the smaller shows because it seems like there's less to worry about. Everyone's there to kind of have a good time, and I don't think anyone expects the sound to be unbelievably good in a small venue with maybe not the best sound. So you kind of just go for it, and it really does feel like you're going back to your roots, playing some of those venues that you grew up playing. Most of this tour was called like a B-market tour, they call it. It just means not many major cities, which is nice. It's good to get to because I think there's a lot of people that don't want to travel into the big city, wherever that might be near them, and they get to see you in an intimate environment. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I think when this 8-week tour is done, it will be enough in time to take a break, but it's definitely, I think it's always will be worth it coming to places like Cornwall.
Cool. Now, drummer Chris Alder of Lamb of God, he recorded on your last album. What was it like working with a professional musician like Chris? I mean, obviously you're a professional musician yourself, but
it's a different level. It's Chris Adler too.
Oh, my mistake.
No, it's all good. Just so you can like fix it and then edit. Chris was a treat to work with because we've actually met him before, and he was a fan of our band ahead of time, so it made that, as soon as we asked him, he said, yes, absolutely, let's do it. And I mean, it's cool to work with a musician on that level because he's done it for so much longer than us. We've been in a studio many more times. They have more albums. He is just, you can feel the experiences that he has really playing into how good he is as a musician. So it was a lot of fun, and for us, we had the same 5 members for over 10 years, which is obviously the reason why people liked us and respected us, because we were able to keep it together that long. But on the other hand, it was nice to kind of stir the pot and play with someone else, because we're so used to playing with these same guys. So it was cool, and I think it was definitely a growing experience. I think it made our album better, or at least different in a good way than it would have been had it just been the same 5 members.
Talking about band members, your bassist, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, but Arif or no?
Arif.
Yes, he recently departed your band. I'm curious, is he going to return, or is this a permanent departure, and who's your bass player now?
The guy we have on tour with us now, his name is Cam McClellan. He's a friend of everyone in the band. He also produced our newest album, Volition. And he co-wrote half the songs with myself. So he really is a big part of the band, and arguably maybe a bigger part of this album than RF was our I won't say our old bassist, but the guy who started our band with us. So no, I don't think he'll be returning to do touring, but it's so amicable, and his departure is, something that's kind of coming for a long time. And he's, like I've told him and the rest of us have said, the door is open for him to participate with the band in any way that he wants. If he wants to write with us, great. If he wants to do lyrics, great. You know, kind of anything he wants to do is open. So we still consider him a member of the Protest the Hero family, but maybe not a member of the touring aspect of the band.
You brought up your latest album. It was completely funded by fans, from what I understand, which is completely a departure from having a record company pay for the album. What was that experience like? What have you learned as a band, and is this going to change the business model for bands that want to do it independently?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Obviously it worked well for us, but I don't think it would have worked well had we not put in the 10 or 12 years, the 3 albums, 2 EPs, all that touring that we did. I think we were working up to this crowdfunding campaign our whole career. So yeah, it could change the face of music, not just ours, just the idea of crowdfunding in general. But I think that you have to put in a lot of work before you can see results like that. So for us, I think it's definitely changed. I don't think we'll go back to the traditional label route unless labels completely change their the way they approach putting out records, which it's hard for them to do and still make money these days, right? So I think for us it's definitely changed everything, and there was a time nearing, we really, I think that the core members of our band thought that this album would be our last, and we didn't know if we'd make our goal or anything. And I think when we saw that ridiculous amount of support, like, wow, we can...
36 hours?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it continued throughout the 25 days or whatever we ran the campaign for. And to see that, I think we were maybe, you could say jaded, or you could say had lost touch with how many people still cared about our band, and it was a huge reminder that we can still do this, and there are going to be people who want to hear it, and still want us to tour and come out in Cornwall to see us and whatever. So it was cool. It was definitely one of those feelings that the Juno was a great feeling, but seeing the crowdfunding campaign do that well, not financially even, but just to see that support was, I can't even describe it. It was pretty special.
Thank you. Last question, Luke.
Sure.
You are a guitar player, so this is an appropriate question for you. You had a couple of your songs on a video game called Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a chance to play your own song as a guitarist on Guitar Hero?
Yes.
And what was that like?
It was cool. We had a friend growing up, and still a friend, who was like the most ridiculous video game player and Guitar Hero player, and doesn't even play guitar in real life. So I sat down with him to play it for the first time, and he killed me, and I was terrible at it. So it was cool but weird at the same time. Like, I should be able to do this. Like, I know these rhythms and stuff, but I wasn't able to, and he killed me. So it was, I mean, it was cool. Like, I wish Guitar Hero was still as popular as it once was, so we could get more songs in the game to play. But yeah, I'd say it was great. Lucky to be a part of it.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah.
And that is Luke, guitar players, Protest the Hero at the View nightclub.